And our last head word was visa, new word type of lesson. Okay,
Yes.
so let's start with revision. Ready?
Okay.
Okay, here we go. First question. Is it still important to learn proper typing technique if you want to work as a secretary these days? Is it still important to learn proper typing technique if you want to work as a secretary these days? Yes or no?
No,
It isn't
it
important
isn't
to
important
learn
to
proper
learn proper
typing technique
typing
if
technique
you want to
if
work
you want to
as
work
a
as a
secretary these
secretary
days.
these days.
Very good. Do we use the same unit of measurement when considering small volumes of liquid as we do when measuring large volumes? Do we use the same unit of measurement when considering small volumes of liquid as we do when measuring large volumes? Yes or no?
No,
We don't use
we don't
the
use
same unit
as the same
of
unit
measurement
of
when
measurement
considering
to
uh,
considering
when considering
when considering
small volumes of
small
liquid
volumes of
as
liquid
we do
as we do
when measuring
when
large
measuring
volumes.
large volumes.
Wait, what are the two other common names we can use instead of pullover? What are two other common names we can use instead of pullover? Two other
Two
common
other
names
common
we
names
can use
we can use
instead of
instead
pullover
of
are
pullover
sweater
or
and
sweater
jumper.
and jumper.
Is there any difference between a professor and a lecturer? Is there any difference between a professor and a lecturer? Yes, there's
Yes,
a difference
there's a difference
between a professor
between a
and
professor
a lecturer.
and a lecturer.
What's the difference? A professor
A
has
professor
higher rank
has a higher rank
than a lecturer.
than a lecturer.
Very good. Would you say you were good at giving people directions? Would you say you were good at giving people directions? Yes or no?
No,
I wouldn't say
I wouldn't
I
say
was good at
I was good at
giving people
giving people
directions.
the directions.
Very good. If I drove from there to the nearest station, how many turnings would I have to make? If I drove from there to the nearest station, how many turnings would I have to make? If you drove from
If you
here
drove from
to
here
the nearest
to the
station,
nearest station,
you'd have to
you'd
make
have to make two turnings.
two turnings. Very good. Okay, next. When on holiday, do you enjoy getting together with other tourists to go on organized excursion? When on holiday, do you enjoy getting together with other tourists to go on organized excursion? Yes or no?
Mhm. Yes,
When on holiday,
when on
I
holiday,
enjoy
I
getting
enjoyed
together
getting
with
together
other tourists
with other
to
tourists
go on
to go on
organized
organized
excursion.
excursions
Why? Why? Because?
because I like meeting new people.
Very good. Which would you enjoy more this evening? A large party at a public venue or a small get together at someone's house? Which would you enjoy more this evening? A
Mm,
large party at a public venue or a small get together at someone's house? I'd enjoy
I enjoyed
a small get together
a small get together
at
at
someone's
someone's
house
house
more than a
more than
large
a
party
large
at
party
a public
at
venue
the public
this
venue
evening.
this evening.
Why? Why? Because?
Because I feel like sitting down and having a chat.
Very good. Sitting down and having a chat. Okay. What is meant when someone shouts, look out or watch out? What is meant when someone shouts, look out or watch out? When someone
When
shouts,
someone
look
shouts,
out or
"Look
watch
out"
out,
or "Watch
they
out,"
mean be
they
careful.
mean be careful.
Usually because
Usually because
something dangerous
something
is
dangerous
about to
is
happen.
about to happen.
Ragged, what does a soldier do when he's told to keep a lookout? What does a soldier do when he's told to keep a lookout? When a soldier
When a
is
soldier
told
told
is told
is told
to keep a lookout,
to keep a
he
lookout,
stays alert
his days
and he stays alert,
his days are
alert
alert
and carefully
and
observe
carefully
observes
observe
everything happening
everything happen
in the surrounding
in the
area uh,
surrounding area
to check for unusual
to check our usual
activity.
activity.
Ragged, what happens when there's a security alert at a railway station or an airport? What happens when there's a security alert at a railway station or an airport? When there's
when
a
there's
security
a
alert
security
at
alert
a railway
at
station
a railway station
or an airport,
or an airport,
all services
or
are
services
disrupted
are disrupted
or have to
or
be
have to be
suspended
suspended
until the alert
until the alert
is over.
is over.
Reggie, do you enjoy listening to and reading gossips? Do you enjoy listening to and reading gossips? Yes or no?
Oh, yes,
I
I
enjoy listening
enjoy
to
listening to
and reading gossips.
and reading gossips.
Very good. When you eventually retire from work, what kind of hobbies do you think you might pursue to help fill your extra leisure time? When you eventually retire from work, what kind of hobbies do you think you might pursue to help fill your extra leisure time? When I eventually
When I eventually
retire from work,
retire from work,
I think I might
I think
pursue
I might pursue
hobbies such as
hobbies such as cycling and cooking
to help fill
to help
my
fill
extra leisure
my
time.
extra leisure time.
Ragged, when police officers are pursuing a suspect, why do they turn on the siren in their car? When police officers are pursuing a suspect, why do they turn on the siren in their car? When police
When
officers
police
are
officers
pursuing a
are
suspect,
pursuing a
they
suspect,
turn on the
they
siren
turn on the siren
in their car
in their
to
car
warn other
to warn
drivers,
other purpose
drivers
drivers
to be careful,
to be
etc.
careful, etc.
Very good. Which disability do you imagine has the highest impact on a person's life? Being deaf or being blind? Which disability do you imagine has the biggest impact on a person's life? Being deaf or being blind? The disability
The disability
that I
that
imagine,
imagine
that I imagine
that I imagine
has the biggest
has the
impact
biggest impact
on a person's life
on a person's life
is being,
is being blind.
why? Why? Because,
Because I feel sad. I can't see my family's face.
very good. Okay, let me scroll down. So, okay, here we go. How do we usually start an informal letter or email? How do we usually start an informal letter or email? We usually start
We usually
an
start
informal
an
letter
informal
or
letter
email
or
with
email
dear name
with their name
or hi name.
or hi name.
Ragged, should we use contractions in this kind of writing? Should we use contractions in this kind of writing? Yes, we should
Yes,
use
we should use
contractions
contractions
in this kind of
in this
writing.
kind of writing.
Ragged, tell me some expressions we often use near the end of an informal letter or email. Tell me some expressions we often use near the end of an informal letter or email, please. Some
Some
expressions we
expressions
often use
we often use
near the end
near the
of an near
of
the end
near the end
of an
of
informal letter
informal letter
or email
or
are
email or
I'd better get
I'd
going
better
now.
get going now.
Looking forward
Looking
to
forward
hearing from you
to
soon.
hearing from you soon.
Can't wait to see you.
Can't wait to see you.
Send my love to
Send
your
my love
family,
to your family,
etc.
etc.
And how can we finish such a letter or email? And how can we finish such a letter or email? We can finish
We can
such
finish
a letter
such a
or
letter
email
or
with
email
best wishes,
with best wishes,
love,
love,
bye for now,
bye for now,
etc.
etc.
Very good. Before leaving on holiday on a long flight, do you look around the airport bookshop or news agents to see what novels and magazines are on sale? Before leaving on a holiday or long flight, do you look around the airport bookshop or news agent to see what novels and magazines are on sale? Yes or no?
Oh, yes.
Before leaving on
Before
a
leaving
holiday
on a holiday
or long flight,
or long
I
flight,
look around
I look
the
around
airport bookshop
the airport
or
bookshops
news agents
or news
to
agents
see
to
what
see
novels
what
and
novel
magazines
magazines
are on sale.
are now on sale.
Are on sale.
Are on sale.
Why? Why? Because
Oh, because I enjoy reading a novel when I'm holiday and a long flight. I get to I tend to get bored Uh, I'm
without doing
boarding.
anything.
Oh, on a flight,
Ano,
long flight.
very good. So Nabo, you get bored on a long flight. Very good. That's correct.
Mm.
Okay, next. Why do some people prefer not to transfer money from one country to another via the internet? Why do some people prefer not to transfer money from one country to another via the internet? Some people
Some people
prefer not to transfer
prefer not
money
to transfer money
from one country
from one
to
country
another
to another
via the internet
via the internet
because they feel
because they
it
feel
isn't
it isn't
adequately secure.
equally secure.
Very good. Okay, if there were a fire alert in this building, which exit would you make for? If there were a fire alert in this building, what exit would you make for? If there were
If there
a
were
fire alert
a fire
in this
alert
building,
in this building,
I'd make for
I'd make for
the emergency
the emergency
exit.
exit.
Very good. Do professional ballet dancers need very high levels of technical skill? Do professional ballet dancers need very high levels of technical skills? Yes.
Yes,
Professional ballet
professional
dancers
ballet dancers
need very high
need
levels
very high level
of technical
of
skill.
technical skill.
Very good. Do the technical aspect of computers confuse you? Do the technical aspect of computers confuse you? Yes or no?
Oh, yes,
The technical
the
aspects
technical aspect
of a computer
of a computer
confuse me.
confuse me.
Very good. Are there many countries whose citizens can gain entry to this country without the need for a visa? Are there many countries whose citizens can gain entry in your country without the need of a visa? Yes or no?
Yes,
There are
there
many
are
countries
many
whose
countries
citizens
whose citizens
can gain entry
can
to
gain
my
entry
country
to my country
without the need
without a need
for a visa.
or visa.
Very good again. That's the end of our revision. Let's have new work.
Mhm.
Okay, very good. Okay, repeat. At war.
At war.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word at war means a situation in which people fight one another. For
Mhm.
example, many countries around the world were at war with one another between the years 1939 and 1945. That was World
Mhm.
War II. Okay, let's practice. Were many countries around the world at war with one another between 1939 and 1945? Were many countries around the world at war with one another between 1939 and 1945? Yes, many
Yes,
countries
many countries
around the world
around the world
were at war
were at war
with one another
with one another
between
between
1939
1939
and 1945.
and 1945.
Very good. Next repeat. Give somebody a lift.
Give somebody a lift.
Dreadful.
Grateful.
Very good. Okay, listen. Give somebody a lift means to give someone a free ride in a vehicle. For
Mhm.
example, the party finished very late and I couldn't see any taxi. I needed a
Mhm.
lift to the bus station. Luckily, someone gave me a lift.
Mhm.
Dreadful is an adjective. It means very bad or unpleasant. For example,
Mhm.
if a friend of mine who I knew was a dreadful driver offered to give
Mhm.
me a lift, I'd make some excuses and say no. Okay,
Mhm.
so let's practice. If a friend of yours who you knew was a dreadful driver offered to give you a lift, what would you do? If a friend of yours who you knew was a dreadful driver offered to give you a lift, what would you do? If a
Mhm.
friend of mine
If a friend of mine
I knew
who I knew
was a dreadful
was a
driver
dreadful driver
offered to give me
offered to
a
give
lift,
me a lift,
I'd
I'd refuse to get into the car
why? Why? Because
because because it's dangerous.
it's dangerous. That's correct. Very good. Okay, next repeat. Appropriate.
Appropriate,
Interval.
interval,
Distract.
distract,
Cast.
cast.
Very good. Okay, listen. Appropriate is an adjective. It means right or suited for some purpose or situation. For
Mhm.
example, the clothes I'm wearing are appropriate for the weather we're having today.
Mhm.
Interval is a noun. It means a period of time between two events or a pause.
Mhm.
Interval.
Mhm.
Distract is a verb. It means to get someone's attention and prevent them from concentrating on something. For example,
Mhm.
a loud noise can distract me from studying.
Mhm.
The word cast is a noun. It means the actors in a play, film, or television show. For
Mhm.
example, if I were enjoying a play at the theater, it would be more appropriate to leave during an interval than during the
Mhm.
performance itself because leaving during the performance might well distract members of the audience and even the cast.
Mhm.
Okay, let's practice. In your opinion, are the clothes I'm wearing appropriate for the weather we're having today? In your opinion, are the clothes I'm wearing appropriate for the weather we're having today? Yes or no?
Now, yes,
In my opinion,
in my
the
opinion,
clothes you're
the
wearing
clothes we are wearing
are appropriate
are
for the
appropriate
weather
for the weather
we're having
we
today.
are having today.
Very good. If you weren't enjoying a play at the theater, why would it be more appropriate to leave during an interval than during the performance itself? If you weren't enjoying a play at the theater, why would it be more appropriate to leave during an interval than during the performance itself? If I weren't
If I were
enjoying a play
enjoying a
at the
play
theater,
at the theater,
it'd be more
it is
appropriate
more
to
appropriate
leave
to
during
leave
an interval
during an interval
than during
and during
the performance itself
performance itself
because leaving during
because leaving
the
during
performance
the performance
might well distract
might well distract
members
members
of the audience
of the audience
and even the
and
cast.
even the cast.
Cast. Very good.
Mm.
Next, repeat accelerate.
Accelerate,
Halt.
fault.
Very good. With the letter H, halt. Okay, very good. Listen,
Mm.
accelerate is a verb. It means to move faster or to gain speed. For
Mm.
example, a train accelerate when it leaves the station.
Mhm.
Halt is a verb. Halt, it means to stop. It's another word for stop.
Mhm.
It's to stop something or someone from moving. Halt. For example, a train doesn't accelerate when it pulls into a station. It slows down and comes to a halt. Okay, let's
Mm.
practice. Does a train accelerate when it pulls into a station? Does a train accelerate when it pulls into a station? No. A
No,
train
a
doesn't
train
accelerate
doesn't accelerate
when it pulls
when it pulls
into a station.
into a station.
It slows
It
down
slows down,
and comes to a halt
then comes
and comes
and comes
to a
to a
halt.
fault.
Very good. Next, repeat outlet.
Outlet,
Invaluable.
invariable,
Restless.
restless.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word outlet is a noun. It
Mm-hmm.
means a store that sells products made usually by one company and often
Mm-hmm.
at a reduced price. For example,
Mm-hmm.
the names of some fast food outlets of this neighborhood are Jollibee, McDonald's, KFC, etc.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Outlet also means something that people use to express their emotions or talents. For example, she used poetry as an outlet of her sadness. Invaluable is an adjective. It means extremely valuable or useful. For example,
Mm-hmm.
I consider teaching with the Callan Method an invaluable experience to me.
Mm-hmm.
Restless means not satisfied with the way a person lives and wanting to
Mm-hmm.
have new experiences. For example, I agree that sport provides an invaluable outlet for bored and restless teenagers who might otherwise get into trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Let's practice. Name some fast food outlets in your neighborhood. Name
Mm-hmm.
some fast food outlets in your neighborhood, please. The
Mm-hmm.
names
The name
of some fast
of
food
some fast food
outlets in my
outlet
neighborhood
in my neighborhood
are
are McDonald's, KFC.
Yoshinoya, etc.
Ah, Yoshinoya,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you agree that sports provide an invaluable outlet for bored and restless teenagers who might otherwise get into trouble? Do you
Mm-hmm.
agree that sports provide an invaluable outlet for bored and restless teenagers who might otherwise get into trouble? Yes or no?
Oh, yes.
I agree
I
that
agree that
sports provides
sports provides
an invaluable
an invaluable
outlet
outlet
for bored
for bored
and restless
and
teenagers
restless teenagers
who might otherwise
who might otherwise
get into trouble.
get into trouble.
Very good. Why? Why do you think so? Because
Because Oh, they have fun.
They will have fun. Very good.
Mm.
Okay, and that's the end of our
Oh.
New York. Let's move on to reading.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. So our reading is at stage 9, paragraph page 712. Okay, and
Oh.
our last head word was crash. Okay, please start at head words whiskers, gap, fence, hedge.
Oh. Whisk.